Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're taking a look at another guide made by Shizzam, basically talking about the new artifacts and going through a general guide for all the artifacts. The one I really want to touch on in this video is going to be Chaosbringer. We're going to discuss it, and then I'm also going to jump onto Shizzam's test server account because he's got it there and show you the damage difference between using Chaosbringer and Blade on the Saurus, because the Chaosbringer is like the new MVP for it. So let's get into it. Okay, so firstly, just the little disclaimer he has up the top. This guide is targeted for campaign and guild hunts. This does not cover Twisted Realm. Artifacts are not usable in Legends Championship Arena, Abyssal Expedition, or Heroes of Speria. So that's cool. Basically, the sum of it is that this new Chaosbringer artifact is giving you haste. And essentially what he's found through his testing is that this, even at 3-star, is gonna outperform a 5-star blade for just about any warrior. Over a 90-second Riz fight, he basically just says that it's just gonna scale more, give them more attacks. Even the more supportive type warrior units, he still recommends to use this because it's gonna let them get their abilities off faster. So pretty much over the right hand side here, you can see he basically just says all warriors are gonna prefer this. In general, is a really nice artifact, and it basically just wins out, and it's probably going to boost some people's boss damages for things like the other bosses, the Twisted Realms and stuff like that. Obviously we'll go into that later, but this one is more focused at Riz and Soren and warriors. If you have a warrior, slap it on them, it's going to be good. Then he does talk about the barricade, which is the other one that he's seen, and he basically says that this isn't going to be too useful for a lot of comps because generally you don't want your main damage dealer getting hit too hard. So he sort of says it's going to be more targeted at Gwyneth teams, using it on the Arthur or Hendrik when there is a Lunger with like a Tassie or something like that. But having said that, for people who like experimenting, I still do think this could have some use for some of those other leather-wearing carry damage dealers, your Titus, your Antandra, stuff like that, Thane. If people do like using different sort of non-meta teams and you have something like that as your carry, I do definitely think that this artifact is going to have more use for you because your damage dealer's main issue is that they get one shot. So that's where I can see it being used in niche situations, or for people that just like having fun with different sorts of stuff. So keep that in mind. We're just going to browse over this next bit. He talks about Grace. Basically, Grace is, it says, kind of useful for some carries that need extra damage mitigation, and then also for Gorvo because he has the passive which helps with shields. So that's pretty much there. Then Jurazai. Jurazai is decent at 3-star. At 5-star is where it gets really good and starts overtaking, definitely in shorter fights. In longer fights, the blade can outperform, but for a lot of damage dealers, especially ones that have like crit related things, for instance Gwyneth, where she crits and she gets more haste, Pharrell, where he wants to crit, basically everyone that wants damage and, you know, crits help, the eyes are always going to be better. But for some, it's going to change between blade and eye depending on the fight. So yeah, that's something to consider there. But I always like testing blade and eye on different characters in different fights that I'm struggling on, just to see if that little bit of extra haste from the eye will give me something, or whether the longer fight where the blade's going to help out more. Jura's cool, basically every support. Just be careful because it is the only one that states it has diminishing effects. None of the other artifacts say they have diminishing effects, and Jura's Call basically understandable because otherwise it would be completely busted if you could have a team of 5 with Jura's Call all getting the added benefits. So basically for your supports, but try not to stack it too many times because the diminishing returns do start to hurt. Then we go into Jura's Drape. Benefits things that like really want the healing. Obviously Mahira, she gets more healing, and then once she stacks up, she starts getting energy with that healing. Damon as well, really nice. Tree, Namora, you know, the general sort of things that get benefits from that additional healing. Then we have the Blade, things in longer fights and that have longer drawn out abilities, kind of like Taylene, you know, as she dies she's going to gain more attack, then the Blade's going to last longer and keep going. And then definitely for things that are not warriors, this is going to be really strong in the longer fight for things like Taylene against the boss fights as well. And then as we scroll down, then we have the Chalice. Basically, a general good one for tanks, giving them extra healing and survivability. And then Conviction. Conviction's a niche one. I feel like some things like Kassos, if you're using him, it can get some benefit out of this. There's a few heroes that I think can situationally get decent use out of Conviction, but he basically puts it down to Flora at the moment for where you want to be. Now, he goes into the Riz and Soren, and we'll look on his test server at the battle, like I said, and compare the damage. Basically, warriors use the warrior artifact pretty much where it's at. Over here, he does mention this one using the blade. I'm curious, like just on my own thoughts, I think I like I more on Cecilia, but Shizzam has done more testing, so obviously he's found that out to be the case. Because for me, Cecilia, when she crits, she reduces the cooldown on her ability. When she crits with a basic attack, her I can't remember, I think it's her second ability gets reset, so she can keep spamming it. So I like on paper, I thought Cecilia would prefer I, but he does put her in the blade range. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Increased damage hero and attack rating, and also nice to link to heroes as well. So you have a warrior, a warrior Saurus in the front row with that artifact. It's not too bad to put like Talene with the blade in the front row with him, because you're going to be linking that extra attack to your main damage dealer, and see how that goes. And then obviously I for the things that want the crits, and then supports the Rowan, the twins, that sort of stuff, get the call. And then he puts an example team. I'm assuming this is the team he's been using on his main server. It's not the team he's using on his test server, obviously, because he doesn't have all the heroes made. But that's just an example. Pretty stock standard. He's got his warriors with the new warrior artifact, Talene with the blade, and then I on a rain and call on the twins. The cool thing about this team formation is that you only have the twins with call, meaning they are going to get the full effect out of that artifact. Anyway, now we're going to jump over to Shizzam's test server and have a look at his runs. We'll do one with blade and one with the new artifact, and have a look at the test results. Okay, here we are on Shizzam's test server. Now, I believe he might even be testing the Baden for viability. I think once we get into global server and more testing happens, there may be another new meta settle, just because we do have the Baden, which is a warrior, getting that extra haste, meaning he's going to use abilities faster, get more phantoms, all that sort of stuff. His damage could start to stack it. But even here at elite, the reason Baden is still solid, and this is the reason why I think he's testing him, because we have that artifact obviously making him a little bit better. But we also do have this effect. So people always ask why Baden was used. Yes, his phantoms can deal a lot of damage, but when Baden or his phantom use this ability, damage dealt to the enemy will be increased by 10% for 7 seconds. This ability can be stacked up to 5 times, so you're getting a 50% damage increase. So it's a really nice nice debuff to put on the enemy with the Baden. So we're just going to jump into this one and see the damage. All we're really trying to compare at the moment is we're not trying to set a new meta. We're just trying to determine which one gives more damage, the blade or the new warrior artifact. As you can see, Saurus has the new warrior artifact on him. So we're just going to jump in, queue it up, then we'll do one with the blade and see the damage difference. So let's jump in, put it on ×4 speed and have a look. I'm not too sure if his Baden and Warwick are going to survive too well here. They probably will with the Talene, because the AoE is going to hit the Talene and then heal them up, unless she's too tanky and it doesn't break the shield, in which case then it wouldn't work as well. However, it is, we don't have furniture on the Talene either, so she's not going to get that new passive effect, which I'm keen to test once it does drop. But this is going pretty solid. This is the test server. Dude's just topping things on the test server as well. It's wicked. Alright, let's go. And obviously this sort of comp, I'm actually keen to see what Baden can do if someone has like a maxed out Baden, because then the phantoms be dealing some more damage. It'll all be good stuff. But let's keep going. Gotta respect the Talene on the test server. So there we go. That is the damage for that one. What's that? 4 billion, I believe? I don't know. Too many zeros to try and keep track of. Anyway, that is that one. So let's go out. Let's go challenge. Let's get Saurus up here. Let's hold that. Let's swap that out. Choose. Let's put a blade on him. Yep, and let's go. And now let's test the damage of this one, because we don't really want to sit through and watch this. I'm just going to cut here and we'll be back at the end.
Okay, there we go, finished. And I think we ended up doing, I hate clicking this because sometimes I click it too far. I think it was like 4.48 billion compared to the 4.7. So not a huge difference on this one. Like I said, this is still early days, but it looks like it's just gonna outperform in general. We'll do more testing, and if it changes, I will update it. And as more people start testing, I feel like there will be new Riz and Soren metas developed due to this artifact, so we'll keep covering that as well. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this one. New warrior artifact looking pretty sick. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.